And welcome back to the Midday Show. I'm Jeff Everett. He's Mark Messina. We have the Josh fight today. We also have some comments made by Steve Harvey, and we're going to bring John Mackey back for Quizzo. Mark, how are you? You look fresher today.
I am jacked. I'm ready for I've been studying. I don't know. I went to bed early last night, but I had a really weird, like, police were chasing me dream. I don't know what that subliminally what that means. I don't know, but I'm good. I'm ready. I'm pumped.
All right. Well, there were a bunch of other people that were ready and pumped up too this past weekend because they had the proclaimed Josh fight. So essentially what happened, a 22-year-old college student in Arizona basically planned and set up a fight of all fights for anybody named Josh. And they performed this with pool noodles in a field in Nebraska. And eventually there was a winner proclaimed. You can see him in the photo there in the middle. And it was basically done to raise awareness and a charity as well. And we officially know who the real Josh is. It's a 4-year-old who likes to play Fortnite.
Well, there you go. My kids told me about this, about the Josh fight. And of course, I didn't know what they were talking about. And it's it's so ridiculous. And it's so like, now the original was you had to, it was just for Josh's, correct? Isn't that how it was laid out?
So the way it was done, he got bored during the pandemic. His name is Josh Swain. And he actually started sending messages to other Josh Swains that he could find on social media and basically would like challenge them to a contest. So one of the first things they did is Josh Swain versus Josh Swain, rock, paper, scissors to decide who actually was going to get Josh Swain on social media. So that's how it originally started. Then they opened it up to all Joshes to participate in this giant pool noodle conquest. It kind of looked like the people who do the
Renaissance festivals.
Yeah, like the Renaissance Festival, except they had giant pool noodles and they were kind of going around. And the winner was proclaimed with a Burger King crown on top of their head.
So how many people showed up?
A lot. I don't know the exact number. I could probably find it for us.
And they were.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, are we believing that their first name was Josh for all of these people?
I would imagine they had to show some form of ID, wouldn't you? Here's the thing. If you're Mark, are you going to a field in Nebraska to participate in this if your name is not Josh?
I think there are a bunch of 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds who are like, yeah, my buddy's Josh. He's going. Why am I not allowed to go? So I'm just wondering what percentage of them were named Josh. But it's so, this just shows, this is like the Reddit thing with the stock market, like the power of social media. And if you would have said, if you would have told an old person, and I would consider myself old like this, that there's some guy's they're gonna have a Josh fight with pool noodles in Nebraska, and they're gonna invite everyone named Josh, and 1,000 people are gonna show up. That this is the power of social media. I would have never believed it, but here it is.
Yeah, and he said the same thing. He said he expected about 30 people to show up. They far exceeded that. During this, they were able to raise $8,000 for the Children's Hospital and Medical Center Foundation in Omaha. So not only were they able to kind of do their funky, corny get-together and kind of have fun with it, they also were able to raise a lot of money for a good foundation at the same time.
So how about a Jeff fight on a farm in Blossburg? There have to be more Jeffs than Joshes. Right?
I would assume, well, I mean, I would imagine there's more Marks than Jeffs.
Not anymore.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's. I don't know. Where are we on the biblical name trend? Are we upping or down? Because Josh and Mark are on the, and so I don't know. Yeah. It just depends.
Here's the catch with Jeff is I have always said if it's spelled with a G, you're not involved. Like you're not on the same level. So actually, this could get interesting. What if we did Jeff with a J versus Jeff with the G's, and it was like teams?
When you say they're not on the same level, are you saying they're a level above you?
No, I'm saying they're a level below. I've always been,
all right.
Yes, I've always been below. You know who spells Jeffrey with a G is the Toys R Us draft. Don't ask me why I know that.
Well, I do. I was going to say something disparaging about you for looking down on people, but I've always looked down on the Marks with a C as opposed to with a K. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
I think that's the next phase. Maybe we need to talk to Josh Swain. I feel like that's the next phase of this, is to put people with different spellings on teams together. Absolutely. And decide what is the official spelling of the said name.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Do you think you would fare well in the Mark of Mark contest?
Am I beating someone with a pool noodle?
You're going after him with a pool noodle.
How can you? I mean, you can't really fare that badly. How many shots to the head do you have to take with a pool noodle before it does some damage?
That's interesting. I haven't thought of it that way. I think you'd fare well. I think you would do better than what most people would expect.
I think I'd be okay. I'm tougher than I look.
Steve Harvey is trending on Twitter. First of all, I'm a Steve Harvey fan. Are you like, some people are kind of like on one side of the fence or the other. Some people think he's corny and kind of overdone. I actually enjoy him.
He is a little corny, but it's part of the charm. Like the stuff that he does on, I mean, he's most known now for screwing up the whatever, Miss America or whatever he did. The stuff that he does off the cuff, some of the clips on Family Feud, if you are ever bored and you want to go to like funny Family Feud with Steve Harvey on YouTube, you will roar for like 7 or 8 minutes. And you could tell like he does a lot of it right off the cuff. I think he's really talented.
Yeah, some of the best stuff is the behind the scenes stuff too. Like during Family Feud, he would talk to the audience and that kind of stuff. So there's a viral interview that's going around now, and basically it was from 2010, but it's just now kind of like spreading and getting out there. And Steve Harvey said that he is incapable of having female friends because he doesn't believe that men can have genuine relationships with women. And to me, this is like a Mark topic written all over it.
Why Mark with a C or Mark with a K?
Mark with a K.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, on its face, this is an absurd statement, but as you dig deeper in it, it's not as absurd as he says. The male-female friendship becomes it can become very, very dicey. And for people just to say, oh, no, of course you can be. If there is a sexual attraction either way, then the friendship is difficult. There's lots, I will say there are lots of men and women that have, whether it's at work or whether it's whatever, and they function purely as friends, and it's all because there is no attraction either way. If there is attraction, I agree with it. It can be hard. Now he's saying I guess he's saying he's attracted to every woman out there and he can't have. That's where it's a little bit of a stretch to me. But
I didn't take it that way. But the key word for me was genuine. I think he didn't say it's impossible to have relationships with women. He didn't even say it's impossible to have friendships with women. He just said it's impossible to have a genuine relationship. And I think you were kind of hinting at that aspect of like, if there's even the littlest bit of attraction, is there such a thing as a genuine relationship?
Yeah, I mean, that's where it becomes hard. And then and I'm sure there's levels of like, there's an attraction, but the other person is unavailable because they're in another relationship, and that some people respect that and some people don't.
Well, let me ask you this, because that's a good point, because this is where I was going with it, and you'll be able to answer this. Does it make it easier or harder if you are in a relationship? Whether you're the male or the female doesn't matter. Is it harder if you have a significant other, or is it easier? Because I can see it going both ways.
I could too. I think one of it depends on how happy it is. So if you are in the relationship, there's one angle. If the other person is in a relationship, and there's the other angle. And I think it's weird. I know when you just hear the statement, you think, well, that's an idiotic statement. But there are some that that if you really like someone, or that person really likes you, and they're never going to be able to come to grips with the fact of this ain't happening, or you're never going to be able to accept the fact that this ain't happening. I don't think his statement is as crazy as people say. To say it in a blanket like it never happened, you can't, is absurd. But I think it's a lot harder. And that's one of the things I've always talked about with people with breakups. When they're like, when the dumper says to the dumpee, I want to still be friends. And you're like, well, it's easy for you to say but they don't want to just be friends. And now you're forcing friendship on someone who wants something more than friendship. And are they going to be like, okay, I'll take friend, it's hard. And that's why when you read a lot of books, you're like, once you break up, you've got to you can still be cordial, but you've got to go your separate ways. You've got to get out of each other's lives. So,
yes. Here's what I will say, and unfortunately, it's going to sound like I'm defending Steve Harvey without seeing the clip yet, and hopefully I don't come off the wrong way. But I'm not Steve Harvey. You're not Steve Harvey. If I were Steve Harvey, I think that statement is much more true than being me, because if you're Steve Harvey and you're rich and you're successful, I would imagine it is much harder to have a genuine relationship with a woman than it would be to not be Steve Harvey.
I guess, and I see kind of going out and creating a relationship, but there's the coworker, friends of friends, somebody, I'm friends with when you're in couples and you're friends with your couples' wives and whatever, and that I feel like we're genuine friends, and I don't, and it's not ever going to go beyond that. So I don't agree with his statement, but it's part of the mystery of the laws of attraction too, because I know people that this person who's been in my life, who is a friend of a friend or whatever, who I thought was really funny, who I thought was gorgeous, and I made the statement I could date this person for 15 minutes before she drove me insane. So there's that aspect too, that it's not just purely about, do you think the person is attractive? Do you think there's other, there's that mystery of what makes some people attractive and what makes them not. So, but no, I disagree with his statement as a whole, because I feel like I am friends with some few, but I don't disregard his statement that it can be challenging. And sometimes men-women friendships have to go away because both people can't come to a ground. Because if one person really wants a relationship and one person doesn't, you're never going to find a mutual ground, I don't think.
No, it would be interesting to hear the other side and kind of their perspective as well too. Just if it's the same, it would be interesting to see if a woman would ever say you couldn't have a genuine relationship with a male, and if we found that to be more true or less true. It's a fascinating topic that he brings up. Really,
I think too, before we go on, because I really want to do trivia here, I think part of it true, especially for people in relationships, it depends how happy they are in their relationship. Because I think people who are totally happy, then it's easy, because you just have this feel that these two are meant to be, they're going to be together forever, they're a wonderful couple, and there's going to be nothing. But when there's people that are in miserable relationships, then there's always this wonder of, well, are they going to leave? And if they do leave, so that makes it awkward too. So it's a simple statement that Harvey made, and there's 1,000 layers to it, and it's a fun topic to discuss.
It is. Let's jump to the wheel now. We have a winner for today. First, let's thank Wise Markets, our title sponsor. For all your grocery needs, make sure you check out Wise Markets. And we also still have on the board, we still have the break room as well. If you're looking to blow off some steam, we need to reach out to them. We'd like to do an episode from there as well. I've never been, so I would be thrilled to go to the break room at some point.
We have to go over and meet with them and figure out the logistics of how we're going to do it. But yeah, it'll be awesome.
It would be really neat to do. And then also we still have Eat and Run Catering on the board. We still have Moon and Run Catering, or I'm sorry, Moon and Raven Pub. Is it a pub? It's a pub.
It's kind of a pub. It's a neat place.
I consider it a pub.
The other day, I like Moon and Raven. Moon and Raven's cool.
I do too. I think it's pubby. It feels pubby to me.
It's more pubby than yes. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So again, thank you to all the sponsors, especially Weiss Markets. We still have the $25, $50, and $100 gift card to Wise Markets up on the board as well. How can somebody enter to win, Mark?
Go to Facebook, join the Midday Show group.
That's it.
That's it.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Facebook Midday Show group. That's all you got to do. And then you got to get lucky. The computer has to like you.
Yes, it has to spit you out. Today's winner from the Facebook group, The Midday Show, is this is a mistake. This has to be a mistake.
All right, I'll continue on the computer likes McNulty, but nobody else does. So there we go. There's our Paco with the win. This is actually, it's good timing because we should probably mention this. His daughter was just named first team All-State basketball. There's a lot of local kids with some success. The Hill brothers at St. John Newman, and the Ali brothers. Idris is player of the year, and his brother made first team. So, but Eric's daughter, Summer.
Yes.
And it's funny because it's, when you get all these really talented kids and they're driven and and they can be, especially I think from the girls' side, sometimes there can be a kind of there's a lot of times in all sports, but I think on the girls' sports it's a little worse, that the best player would never win the Miss Congeniality Award because that's the way they're driven. And Summer's a wonderfully nice kid. So she kind of bucks that trend. As talent, she's a great athlete, but she's a super nice kid, which must come from the mother's side because it certainly doesn't come from Eric's side. But
all right.
So congratulations to Eric. You win a T-shirt, and I hope you don't win anything else. Spin. This is the first time I'm rooting for a loser spin. Loser.
Oh, this is pretty much perfect. So Eric McNulty, Moon and Raven, Public House. Timeout. Is pub short for public house?
That's a good question. When you just said that, first of all, I've never heard the word pubby before, and I'm glad that you introduced that. Guess who Paco is taking to the Moon and Raven? That would be you and I.
Let's hope so.
So there's date night for Paco. The three of us, we'll go rip it up. So
that could be its own sitcom, Date Night with Paco.
All right.
That would be great.
Now I'm ready to go. It's hard to go from Paco to intellectual, but that's what we're going to try to do. Here we go.
That's what we're going to attempt. We did pretty well last week, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think we always do well. Sometimes Mackie tells us we have the wrong answers, but I'm not sure. I think we should fact check some of this. I think we always get it right.
All right. So everyone bear with me here 1 second. We'll get Mackie in here. We'll get him set up. We'll get him shifted. And now we are ready to go. Mr. Mackie, how are you?
Great. How we doing, guys?
We're good.
I'll tell you after 5 questions.
Yeah.
My ego is exposed right now, and you may make us look stupid, and that's never good.
Well, a couple of things. I heard you guys talking before you let me on the old broadcast here. You guys are 9 for 15. This is week 4.
Okay.
Through 15 questions, you guys are 9 for 15. So that's like that. You're batting 600. So
if we were baseball players, we would have just broken the bank.
Yes.
We'd be getting paid, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Jeff, yes, pub is short for public house. That is correct.
So hold on. Are we now 10 for 16? Does that count as the right answer?
Does not count. And I did hear you guys talking about first names. You'd be interested to know that according to the 2018 census, and I know we just had the most recent census, I don't think they've had a chance to tabulate the most popular male names. I hate to say it, but Mark and Jeff, neither one of those appear in the top 100 for the 2018 census in terms of most popular.
I believe
male
that. Yeah,
names. I could say that the closest that you get is number 94, Everett, as a first name. That's as close as it gets.
Wow.
John, number 28. So I'm still holding strong. Still in the top 30.
So you're telling me that like 10 years from now, there's just going to be a bunch of Everetts like running around?
There are, yeah.
Wow.
Are the 10 years from now, the Everetts running around, are they going to be as annoying as the Everetts that are running around now?
That I can't answer that.
You don't know? We can't. Okay, we can't. So before we get started here, give us a quick plug as to where you're going to be.
Yeah, same as last week. Bullfrog Brewery tonight at 8:30. New start time 8:30. We had a really great crowd last Tuesday, so that was exciting. It almost felt like a normal Tuesday night. Almost, not quite, but almost. Right. Wednesday, tomorrow, you got 3 choices: Rusty Rail in Mifflinburg at 6:30, Kimball's Pub down by Penn College at 8, and the Brickyard right downtown at 9 p.m. And then Thursday, again, back. We're not back at the Town Tavern in Lewisburg. So, yeah, things are going well.
Nice.
Well, there you go. There you go. One of these, I can't do tomorrow night, but there's a chance, Jeff, we should look at like next week.
Yeah, hit up the Brickyard at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. We'll see how you guys do with 40 questions. So I thought, I would put week 1 in the drubbing category. You guys were 2 for 5 that week. Week 2, a little bit of controversy. 5 for 5, 4 for 5. We could debate that. Last week I believe you were 3 for 5. So I thought this week maybe we'd have just a little bit of fun with our 5 questions. So I'll give you a couple examples before we get started. I'm calling this the Williamsport-ish round. Now what the deal here is, none of these questions have anything to do with Williamsport, okay? All of the answers, however, are places you could visit in the Williamsport area, all right? So let me give you an example, okay? So if I were to say, this is a beam with 4 legs used to support a board or plank for cutting, what would your answer be?
The Sawhorse.
The Sawhorse, as in Sawhorse Cafe. That's how these 5 questions are going to work. Okay.
I'm ready. I am ready. Does that one count? I think we're 2 for 2, and we haven't even started yet.
Yes. So your first question: on South Park, Wendy Testaberger's best friend is named Bebe. What is her last name? That is your first question. And again, remember, all of these answers are places you could visit in and around Williamsport.
To show how cool I'm not, Jeff, I barely ever watched South Park, so this is you.
So I have it. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to decide between 2 names right now. I'm pretty sure it's Steven or Stevens. I'm not sure how you spell it. Like, I'm not sure if it's Stephen or if it's Steven, but I don't think that would matter so much. It really would only matter trying to figure out if it's a place in Williamsport that you could find.
Well, there used to be an elementary school, or there may still be an elementary school in Williamsport called Stevens.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's BB Stevens.
And you would be correct, yes. As in Stevens Primary, still fully operational. You can find it on Louisa Street. Great school.
All right. You've never watched South Park at all?
Barely. I know. There are many things in my life that I'm not proud of, and that's one of them.
All right. Next question. Again, this is maybe more of a mind teaser, not really a trivia question, but I think it's fun. So here we go. If Fozzie got run over by Dr. Teeth in the Electric Mayhem on their way to a gig, he could potentially become one of these. I'll repeat that. If Fozzie got run over by Dr. Teeth in the Electric Mayhem on their way to a gig, he could potentially become one of these.
I don't know for sure.
If Fozzie got run, I was going to say like a bearskin rug, but is that the joke? Is that the pun we're going for? Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. It has to do something to do with the band. Roadkill. I don't know. I don't know. My guess would be a bearskin rug, but I don't know what that has to do with like Cumming County taxidermy. I don't know.
The only thing that I could think of was, and I'm pretty sure this is is like a ghost, but I'm pretty sure that's a different concept. It's a different show I'm thinking of. It wouldn't have anything to do with Fozzie Bear. But that would be my guess because I'm really not sure what else it would be.
All right. Well, I think I got you stumped on this one.
Yeah.
You would take a little bit of run up like Comey Creek Road. He might be a crippled bear.
Oh my God.
And we would follow that with
very good.
Waka,
We should have got that. We should have got that.
All right.
Oh, that was good.
So we'll get back to a more normal trivia question here. Number 3, what is the 3-letter abbreviation for the ID card given to all active duty U.S. military personnel? This is the 3-letter abbreviation for the ID card given to all active duty U.S. military personnel.
Oh no, this is bad.
My first thought was dog tags, but that's obviously not it.
3-letter,
and it has to be something around here. What would be around here that's 3 letters?
Yeah, that's brutal. I'm not sure.
I can't even think of something that.
This wasn't in the Vince Flynn novel. I read that one summer.
Yeah. 3-letter abbreviation. Actually, LHU. How's that? LHU.
Oh, PCT.
Well, that's good. It sounds like personal something. We'll go with that. PCT.
Okay.
PCT.
Well, listen, that is not correct. You're on the right track though, because the answer, the full name is a Common Access Card, more commonly known as a CAC card, which would be the Community Center, owned by Pennsylvania College of Technology, but nonetheless wrong.
I think the Pennsylvania College of Technology has some sort of working agreement with the community.
I believe
the Community Arts Center. So I think we're going to count that as kind of like half credit.
This is going to be a Butch Cassidy and the Sundance.
Butch and Sundance. There's a fly flying around me again. I think this fly shows up like every other day. So when I just lose my mind here and kill it, then.
All right. Next question. This was Arnold Schwarzenegger's character's last name in the movie Kindergarten Cop.
Oh.
Wow. I saw Kindergarten Cop about 30 years ago.
It's not a tumor. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Best line from the movie.
I have not. I honestly, I think I was 8 when I saw this movie last.
I have not. Whenever this movie came out, that's the last time I saw. I mean, I saw it on video. I didn't go to the theater and see it. But Kindergarten Cop, his last name. So somewhere around here, I will say. I don't even. Brickyard.
I'll go with it, but I'm not thrilled about it.
No, it was definitely not Detective John Brickyard, but
was it Otto? Was it Detective Otto?
It was Detective John Kimball, as in Kimball's Club, will be tomorrow at 8:00. So you were again.
See,
in the ballpark, maybe. I don't know.
What? No. Hold on. Let's go over this again real quick. Where are you going to be tomorrow?
You're going to be at Kimball's tomorrow.
Where
at
else?
8:00. And the Brickyard.
See?
The Brickyard.
So we're like, again, half credit.
Right there. All right.
That was a tough one.
All right, last one.
Oh.
And just to cut in, Jeff, I'll just explain this to you. He wasn't trying to give us a trivia question. He was trying to give himself another cheap plug, is what he was trying to do. So there we go.
Hey,
all right.
The man's got to eat. All right. Question number 5. Les Claypool is the front man for what band that was founded in 1984? Les Claypool, the front man for what band founded in 1984?
This is how bad. I'm going to be no help here, Mark. This is all you. I looked up a picture of Les Claypool to put on the graphic, and I could have swore it was just an older Johnny Depp. And that's all I could think about the whole time. So that's how useful I am right now.
Can you give me? Is it a local band or is it a national band with a?
No. This is a national, band that has definitely toured. But again, the answer also a place you could visit in Williamsport.
The Old Corner.
No.
No, there's no band called the Old Corner
No.
yet.
I should probably know this one because unless his band sucks, but I've heard of it.
I'm not a fan of their music, that's for sure. But they are definitely a well-known band.
Are they metal or are they 80s like popish?
Man, I wouldn't even know how to describe. Maybe a little bit more along the alternative-y type music. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't an alternative guy.
Heavy instrumental type stuff. Maybe a lot of bass guitar from what I remember. So.
The Collective?
Ooh.
Was there a band called The Collective?
I don't know, but.
Okay. I'm going to give up.
All right, we're giving up. Okay, well, the answer is Primus, as in Primus Technologies. You can find them out on Retrade. So
I've heard of the band Primus.
Yes.
I could not name you a song, which means they sucked. Because if they're from the 80s and I can't name you a song, then they sucked.
And I did have one more example to give you. I can maybe let's end on a high note here.
Yeah.
Right. This singer's life was documented in the 2014 movie Get On Up.
I just watched this the other day.
Go for it.
Come on, Jeff. You know this. This is your era. You know. I mean, it's not your living era, but you like this.
Go
Who
ahead.
sang Get On Up? Who sang that?
Who sang it?
James Brown.
Who?
James Brown, the hardest working man in show business.
James
No,
Brown.
wasn't that Papa's Got a Brand New Bag?
He sang that one too.
Yeah. James Brown, out of all of them, James Brown is probably the one I have the least on my. Whenever Mark walks in, I'm usually playing like that era of music. And James Brown is probably the least amount I play.
It played by Chadwick Boseman in the movie.
Yep.
You will have a better appreciation for, like I watched that and I watched Ray. Not to get off on a topic, but like he had a tough go of it growing up. It was not easy for him. He did not have a good childhood. I think it was a little dramatized, like as it got older, but it was rough. But he was he broke down a lot of barriers, and he was very they throw the word genius around. I'm not sure he was quite, but he was much more talented than you would think he was. Watch the movie, and you'll like him a lot more.
Yeah,
Chadwick Boseman, get on. I got one right. I got one right today in a couple halves.
There we go.
You know what's funny, John, is it's supposed to make it easier, but I can't fuse the two thoughts. Like I'm either just thinking of names of places in Williamsport, or I'm only trying to think of the answer. I can't combine the two for some reason.
I know the reason, because you grew up in Blossburg, and there's only like two places to think of, and he's like, oh, in the big city of Williamsport, there's so much.
Did you know that we have a bigger green bridge than you?
As a matter of fact, I did not know that. Don't you have like a river that's like stained red?
It's orange from the iron, but that's not. I just want you to know our bridge is bigger than your green bridge.
My bridge. Is that
our green bridge is bigger than your green bridge?
Is that what you do? You use that? My bridge is bigger than your bridge?
No, work? only when I'm talking about the green bridge, which our green bridge is bigger than your green bridge.
Okay. So next Wednesday, when we're sitting in the Brickyard, and I want to see you use that line on some coming female, and see if she's impressed.
My girlfriend already is. I've already told her how big our green bridge is.
Is that the one that lured her in? She's like, no, I'm not really interested. But in Blossburg, we have a bridge that's bigger than yours, and she was taken, just swept off her feet.
You are shameless. Speaking of shameless, John, give us one more plug.
Yeah, Bullfrog tonight, 8:30. Wednesday, tomorrow, Rusty Rail, Mifflinburg, 6:30. Kimball's, 8 o'clock. Brickyard, 9 o'clock. and then Lewisburg Town Tavern 7 o'clock on Thursday. And of course,
hey, well, I just want you to know, obviously we didn't do well with the questions today, but the trivia or the creativeness of the questions, I like it. It was I think it's
awesome.
cool. I like it.
And so it's a small sample of what you might get on a normal night. It's not just 40 questions, right? I'm going to do theme rounds like this. I do speed rounds where you have till the end of a song to list, your answers. I do audio rounds, picture rounds with handouts, all kinds of different stuff to keep it, interesting. So
awesome. We'll be there soon.
We will be there.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can put this together. There it is. We're back. That was the concept is great. It was just I knew nothing.
I tell you, in looking back, if we did it again next week, we would have got Cripple Bear. Cripple Bear was right, it was right there for the taking.
Yes,
Primus I knew there was a band called Primus, but I never listened to them. So I'm being
serious. I can't fuse the two thoughts together. I'm either thinking of locations in Williamsport or I'm trying to think of the right answer. And for whatever reason, I can't I don't know. I feel like it's not a good combination trying to figure it out.
We certainly did not impress anyone today, as opposed to the days that we do impress people, but today was not it.
No. So we'll be back next Tuesday. We'll give it another crack. Our average definitely dropped down. I don't know if we're making the big bucks anymore like we were beforehand.
No. Maybe we should have a bunch of Joshes with pool noodles, and when we get the question wrong, there can be a pummeling.
If we started promoting Mark Fight right now, I bet you people would be into it.
Of course.
People want to beat you. People want to beat you with a wet pool noodle, I'm sure.
That's not very nice, Jeff.
Am I the nice one on the show?
No, you are not.
Is that how it works? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you again to Weiss Markets, our title sponsor. Again, go there for all your grocery needs. And we will be back tomorrow around the same time with another show. And we'll be back next week with John Mackey for another round of Quizzo. We are going to go at some point. I think we should I used to go to the Bullfrog. So that's what I'm used to. I do think at some point we should go to Quizzo at the Bullfrog. And we should give it a go. Okay. I'm good. We'll make it happen. I think I'm good. No, we'll make it happen for sure. Thanks for watching the Midday Show. I'm Jeff Everett. He's Mark Messina. Be sure to check all your local news at NorthcentralPa.com. And one last thank you to Weiss Markets. We'll see you soon.